Website, a map that shows their neighborhood, and it color-coded each street that shows how long ago a salt spreader or a plow went down that street. And it's broken up into hours so that it's a reasonably useful thing. You've got to remember there's an enormous number of streets, an enormous number of pieces of equipment out there, so the data has to be really presented in a ways that it's useful for people. The maps that the sanitation department uses to control their equipment are much more detailed. It shows, will show every 10 seconds where every single piece of equipment is in the city, but it's really not useful. What's going to be useful to the average person really is only a matter of weeks away. We just want to make sure that it is as complete and accurate and up to date as we can possibly make it before we present it. The map is possible because of the GPS technology that we installed last year, if you remember, in every sanitation piece of equipment. It is part of our 15-point snow action plan, which we unveiled. GPS has vastly improved communications now between plow operators and their supervisors, thanks to Verizon, who's really been the provider of the communications from the piece of equipment to our computers. So there's two things happening here. One, the GPS satellites are telling the piece of equipment, the plow or the spreader, where they are, and then over a network that Verizon's providing gets that information back to our computers, and then the Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications takes that data, and they've done a lot of work to distill it, present it, and make it in useful form.
You've been listening to Mayor Bloomberg giving a news conference on the storm, talking about some of the things that are going on out there right now. WINS News Time now 8:31, and let's get on to what is going on right out there right now, including expanded traffic and transit on the ones with Brian Britton.
Now we go right into Queens on the Jackie Robinson Parkway, westbound Metropolitan Avenue. We've got an accident there on the ramp to the Jackie Robinson, so there's no access from Metropolitan Avenue to the Jackie Robinson Parkway. You've also got a crash on the Grand Central westbound up by LaGuardia. That's now being picked up. Let's move into Brooklyn. Disabled truck eastbound BQE getting into Meeker Morgan. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. It's really not a heck of a lot. Just remember, slow go. You do have speed restrictions in play on all of the Port Authority bridges. Also, that includes the Tappan Zee Bridge as well. Let's take a look here in New Jersey. That's where we are very hard hit. We go on to 287. We've just got a slew of accidents northbound, exit 22, exit 47, exit 40, exit 57, southbound at exit 14 as well. 280 eastbound getting into Route 21. Accident there. You stop and go back for a couple miles, and 280 eastbound at exit 17. That's a crash to contend with as well. Now through Manhattan, really looking pretty good here as I take a look through the Subaru Storm Cam at the West Side Highway through the 40s, through the 50s. I can see blacktop. You are moving at just under the speed limit, but again, extra caution, a good thing. Alternate side parking rules are suspended for snow removal. You still must feed the meters. Stuck in traffic? Let me know. 877-466-1010. I'm Brian.
6 inches by afternoon, high 35.
This is Don Gould, who finally won one in San Francisco and captured the NFC title Sunday.
WINS News Time 8:41. Written.
All right, a lot of slippery conditions out there. Really, New Jersey, the hardest hit at this time as we take a look at the Garden State Parkway southbound, getting into exit 168 with a crash. This report brought to you by Constant Contact. 280 eastbound, exit 15, exit 17, and then 287 accidents, too numerous to even mention, both northbound and southbound, predominantly through the 30s, 40s, and 50s on 287. Now 80 eastbound, got a crash at exit 48, another one westbound on 80 at exit 56, westbound 80 at exit 65 as well. You stop and go in each of those instances for about a mile, and still some of the main roadways that haven't yet seen a plow, or that the snow is just falling too fast that they can't keep up, so really just extra caution. Your bridges and tunnels.